What is real love? Well, I believe depending on who you pose that question to, you get a different answer each time. If I asked my little nephew what real love is, he would have something to say about that. If I asked my wife what real love is, she'd have something to say about that. If I asked myself what real love is, I'd have a different perspective of it. Now, something happened in the Bible. When Jesus was going to the cross, he was carrying a very heavy cross. He was dehydrated. He was bleeding. And as he was carrying that cross, just going to the point of his death, a lot of people were just, on the road shouting, crucify him, crucify him. And for some of these people who were, shouting and jeering the people who were going to crucify Jesus on. For some of them, he had fed them. For some of them, he had healed their parents. Some of them, he had healed people who they knew. Now, you might be asking, what does this have to do with real love? As I mentioned earlier, when Jesus was going to the place of his execution, he was carrying a cross, he was dehydrated, he had been beaten, he was bleeding, he could hardly walk. And as he was going, there were a few people around and they were, cheering on the people who were going to execute him. And something interesting happened with regards to what real love is. Jesus looked at these people, some of whom he probably had, been really nice to. He had healed some of them, he had fed some of them, and they were, cheering on the people who were going to crucify him. Now, what did Jesus say to the people in response? He said, "Father, forgive them, for they do not know what they are doing." Now, what does this mean to us? There's a part in the Bible, Jeremiah chapter 31, verse 3, and God said there, "I have loved you with an everlasting kind of love, and with loving kindness I have drawn you." So, real love is actually God's kind of love that is not dependent on how you respond to his love. It's not dependent on if we love God or not. It's just God loves us because he loves us. And it's not determined by our response to him. It's not determined by how we behave to him. And that was why Jesus was able to express and show us what real love was when he was going to the cross. It didn't really matter what the people were saying to him. He loved them all the same way he loves you and I.